Hello, my brothers and sisters in time. My name is George Alexander. I am the co-founder, CEO, chief watch designer, and chief perfumer of Maison also known as the Black Horologist. Welcome back to the channel. Exciting day today. Exciting part of this series. We're in the home stretch. Got this week and next week, and then that's it for profiling the five brands that have sort of influenced me and Maison de Filion the most. So I'm very excited to give this brand their flowers. They are officially the youngest brand of the ones that I will be profiling in this particular series, but they are also one of the most expensive. I truly, truly love everything that they put out. I'm a huge, huge fan of them, and I have been for a very long time. If you are a hip hop head, you've heard of them. If you are into high watchmaking, you've definitely heard of them. If you've ever followed anything at GPHG, you've seen them nominated a million times and win a few things as well. I'm speaking, of course, of Jacob and Company, founded by Jacob Arabo. It started, also known as Jacob the Jeweler, right? So the influence that I draw from them is just the inspiration to really push the boundaries of what watches can be. And you'll see that more in sort of the designs that I bring about, once we really get off the ground and really get rolling. But I mean, no one's doing it quite like Jacob. So I have a lot of love and respect for Jacob Arabo, and his story and the brand. I don't think this is going to be a super long episode, but it is going to be one that means a whole lot to me. I'll never forget going on sort of a class field trip in the 7th grade, and we were in, I want to say we were in Quebec City. I forget where in Quebec City, but where they have sort of the trinkets and tourist stuff and like fake watches and stuff. And I saw a fake Jacob 5 Time Zones watch. And I, obviously knowing it was fake, I'm like, okay, what is this the real version of, right? And then, of course, you grow up listening to hip hop. You've heard of Jacob the Jeweler. So, but to give you sort of an idea of, kind of where we're coming from with this, Jacob Arabo or Arabo, Jacob, if you're watching this, please forgive me. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Born in Uzbekistan, Tashkent, I believe is the city. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please correct me. To a Bukharian Jewish family, obviously immigrated to the United States. Created Jacob Jacob and Co. The brand in 1986. But I'm obviously getting ahead of myself. His love for watches began at 13, when his dad gave him a world timer watch, which is, interestingly enough, one that he has sort of recreated, under his own brand with, I want to say it's The World Is Yours, which I absolutely love. And I'll circle back to that. You saw the visual of it. I'm going to put it back up on the screen later. He ended up dropping out of his formal schooling in, I want to say, was it in New York? When he was 16. And he completed this like 6-month jewelry making program in 4 months, which, I mean, if you've seen his work, that doesn't surprise you. He's absolutely brilliant. And by 17, he was designing his own pieces, by night while working in like a jewelry factory by day. He started Diamond Quasar in 1986, which was the precursor, using the Jacob and Company brand. And eventually in the 90s, it caught the attention of Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace, who gave him the moniker Jacob the Jeweler, which still is used in hip hop and in songs and stuff like that today. He had got into a little bit of some legal issues, but he always stood 10 toes down. So I give him a lot of respect, and I give him respect for taking accountability and owning up to what happened. So again, there's no judgment here at all. I think that he is an absolute giant of a man, and I have the utmost respect for Jacob. And especially just watching him design is a real treat. And Jacob, if you're watching this, I thank you for giving us a glimpse into your mind when when you have those reels where we get to watch you draw out, wash designs and stuff like that. That is one of my favorite things on the internet. And I truly appreciate those times. So again, I just want to make sure that I'm giving you a full snapshot of the man. I want to say he had served or was handed a 2.5 year bid for, I think, was something in connection with BMF, to be honest. But again, that's ancient history, and obviously it does not define who Jacob is. Again, he is a titan in the watchmaking industry. And even with that, but it does make for a really cool story as well. And honestly, Jacob, again, if you're watching, man, we need the biography, dude. That's a bestseller. We need to read your story. We need to understand, a little bit more about the man. First major watch that he came up with was the 5 time zones. It was a quartz watch. Kobe had one. You actually saw it, I want to say, in the footage of, oh gosh, was it in The Last Dance? It was in one of them like basketball Netflix, specials. You got to see Kobe, and he was wearing the Jacob 5 time zones, and it was really sharp. I loved it. It was very highly customizable, had an interchangeable bezel, so obviously you could, get diamonds on it, etc. Or, just have a plain Jane. So that was a really cool watch. I really respect, coming out of the gates with something really cool. High watchmaking for the brand started in 2007 in Geneva, when Jacob and Company SA was established, and it started with the Quentin, a very oft forgotten piece, but one that is actually really dope, as you see on the screen here. So nowadays they do offer some really high end collections. And I'm going to go through some of them. You have the Astronomia, which is my favorite. While they do have a very high, side profile, especially for someone with small wrists like me, I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And the different variations that they have, I think it was the Fleur de Jardin, was either nominated or won a GPHG within the last couple of years. And it is absolutely beautiful. The ones with the dragon, which is hand carved and takes an artisan 400 hours to carve by hand out of gold. Like I said earlier, no one's doing watches like Jacob, and it's true. He's on a completely different level. You got the Billionaire, which is, the diamonds and even the variations of it with the Ashoka diamond and stuff like it's just so dope. Just wall to wall diamonds all over the place, just throwing light everywhere, and it really does look like $1 billion. And that's a dream one for me. That is a dream one for me. If I ever was able to get that one, I'd wear that to all my important things that weren't Affilion related, because I gotta rep myself first. The Brilliant, which I really like. The Mystery Tourbillon. You got the Epic, which is another one of the early ones that has withstood the test of time. It's really cool looking. The Caviar, which, can we take a second? The Caviar is so cool. No matter what configuration of them you get, with whatever gemstones or anything, that's just a really cool design. And definitely it gives this feeling of opulence, just like Caviar. So a lot of respect there, and I really love that one. And the Bugatti Chiron series, those are so cool. And then they got the working pistons or whatever in there. That's hard. Again, pushing the limits and pushing the boundaries of what a watch can be and what the watch can do. I mean, you basically made a car engine into a watch, or a watch out of a car engine, or a watch that looks and functions like a car engine. Like, who would have thought of that but Jacob Arabo or Arabo? Again, I'm so sorry, Jacob. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, dude. But he's also come up with very unique watches like the Casino, which literally has a working roulette wheel on it. It has a working roulette wheel. Like, I don't have the language to express how cool that is. I remember seeing it for the first time on Instagram and seeing that it was functional. I'm not a gambler, y'all. I hate the idea of gambling. I hate gambling on paper. That thing is cool. I wouldn't gamble with it, but like, I feel like my kids would break it. I feel like my kids would like play with it when I wasn't looking, because it's just so cool. Just to be able to play roulette on my wrist, just because, and still, have a very reliable and strong in-house movement. What else can you say? I love the Gotham City with the twin tourbillons. That joint is gorgeous, and again, that's one of those ones that you get to watch him draw on their page. So definitely go and check their page out after you get done liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, everything here. So I really love the Gotham City, the Opera Godfather. Now this one, if I could pick any watch to give to my dad, it would be the Opera Godfather. My dad's favorite movie is The Godfather. If anybody affiliated with that movie is watching, his name is also George Alexander. Please reach out. I would love to gift my dad something Godfather related. He's done so much for me in addition to being my father. And he's such a big fan of The Godfather. I remember getting him the DVD trilogy for Christmas one year, and you would have thought that I handed him, like a golden nugget. That man loved him some Godfather. And I love my dad, so I would really like to be able to, if anybody can put that into the proper circles, get something for my dad. And Dad, if you're watching, I love you. And then the aforementioned The World Is Yours, that is based on the watch that his dad gave him. And just seeing that one be unveiled and seeing him get his son involved, and I believe that was his father in the rollout as well, was just really special. And that's something I would love to do. I have a son, I have my dad. Just to be able to really showcase a watch that kind of bridges the gap between those generations and encourages future generations. So, again, I said this wasn't going to be a super long video. Obviously, it's long enough. I really love everything that Jacob puts out. It's definitely an acquired taste for some people. Some people are not super big on like big blingy, out there watches. They're very much purists and stuff like that, and that's cool. There's no right or wrong answers here, and there's a market for everything. But I think the quality of the watches, the quality of the movements, the exclusivity, the luxury, just the feel, even the boxes, these watches are undeniable. And that's where I want to take Maison de Filion, is to being undeniable. I do not seek to be in their lane, because you can't do Jacob's lane. Only Jacob can do that. The Billionaire, the Billionaire 2, the Billionaire 3, the Billionaire Ahsoka, so amazing, so opulent, so rich. Again, that's not what I'm looking to do. But I do love their creativity. I love that they're always thinking outside of the box. I love, their colors, their gemstones. Like, the way that they do gemstones and settings and stone setting is second to none. The way that they, again, those hand carvings that are done in the Astronomia series, and the way that that whole thing works, is just a work of art, and something that has really redefined the way that, we look at watches. So true game changers in every sense of the word. So Jacob & Co., one of my favorite watch brands of all time, a huge influence on Maison de Filion. And yeah, it's been really, really fun getting to learn about them over the past few years, seeing what they've unveiled, and I can't wait to see what they unveil this year, because I know that they're gonna come with some heat. So again, to our friends at Jacob and Co., thank you for all of the inspiration. To Jacob himself, thank you for sharing your gift with the world, and being vulnerable when things got hot, and taking accountability and just showing people how to continue to walk in your passion and walk in your blessings and your anointing, because you absolutely were made for this. So yeah, a lot of love for Jacob. And that's really it, y'all. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get these views up. Pre-order the Pistrus collection, whether it's Lapis, Chrysocolla, Marmor, Noctis, or Ignis, or the complete collection where you get all 5. We have a goal here. We have 15 of each left. We'd like to sell out of those so that we can launch. So yeah, if you've been rocking with us this long, we've been really trying to get that done. We've been doing the wrist rolls and all of that. So let's make that happen. Yeah, we love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for lending me your ear and letting me just kind of nerd out about my favorite brands and my favorite watches and everything that I love about this industry. Find your favorite watch, wear it in good health. Come back next week, where we'll be finishing off this series with the final of the 5 brands that I will be profiling. Put your guess for what brand it is in the comments. I look forward to sharing with you all. Again, my name is George Alexander. I am the co-founder, the CEO, the chief watch designer, and chief perfumer of Maison, also known as the Black Horologist. Signing off. Love y'all.